The next important concept, building off of groups and components, would be looking at solid tools. These are the icons right here, and if you don't see them, they are only in the Pro version. And if you do have the Pro version, you can go to, I believe it's, you just right click up here in your icon bar area and look for solid tools and just make sure they're turned on. So right here, they're on. If I turn them off, they disappear. Come back, click, turn them on. So I'll leave them down here for us to look at. These are very, very helpful tools. So let's begin. So the quick version of what's going on here is if I quickly make a cube, and again, select everything. Quick selection tip, if you click once, you can click one item at a time, either a face, a line, whatever it is. If you double click a face, you will select the face and all of its binding lines. And if you triple click, you will select everything that face touches. So it's a quick way to select certain things that you're looking to do. So I'm going to triple click, right click, and say make group. So now that it's a group, I can quickly show you what solid tools can do. Now it's important for solid tools to work that you are actually dealing with solids. And by that I will show you if I copy these over here and explode them. As you can see, these are no longer groups, which means they are no longer solids. If I try to select any of these solid tools, you'll see it gives me an error message saying this is not a solid, where if I come over here, it's telling me that these are solid groups and I can deal with this. Similarly, they have to be perfect solids, and by that, if I have some errant line in here, then if I try to use my solid tools, it'll tell me that this is not a solid because it's not a solid. It has this errant piece in here. I will go over easy ways to make sure that your group is clean with some plugins that I have and use, and show you those in a future episode of how to make easy ways to make these clean solids. So with that in mind, there are several pieces that can go on here. I'm going to make a copy of these, hitting Control-C, just so we can do several iterations of this. So as you can see, this box overlaps this box, and if we start here, this is an intersection tool. Now what this means is it's going to make a new solid wherever your pieces intersect. So if I select this, I select my first group, second group, and you can see that this is where the two pieces had previously joined, and that's what remains. The union will bring pieces together, so it'll make this one complete solid. So if I say union, select piece 1, go to piece 2, this is now one solid. If I go to X-ray mode, you can see that the inside is cut out. Even if I slide inside the box, you will see that this is one complete solid. So that's the union tool. Now if I go back, undo everything, so I have two solids again, this is the subtraction tool, and what this does is it subtracts your first box from the second box. So the order is important. So that means this box here will remain if this is the second one, and we'll take wherever this piece out of the second one. So let's show you what happens. If I select the subtraction tool, select box 1 and box 2, you can see that automatically cuts that out. Now if I do that in reverse and make this box 1 and this box 2, you see it just does the opposite. So as you can see, it's important the order, and the piece that you want to remain, it will be your second box. The trim and split are similar in that I can select the first and the second, and what it'll do is it'll keep both pieces while getting rid of this chunk. You'll see what I mean. If I click trim and click box 1, box 2, you will see that this box 1 is still its complete solid, while box 2 has the chunk taken out. So it's similar to the subtract tool, except it doesn't take away the piece, it just uses the piece to make a trim. Again, if I undo, Now I'm back to having two separate boxes. The split tool will actually make three pieces. It'll make this piece with a chunk cut out, this piece with a chunk cut out, and then the chunk as a third piece. So solid group 1, solid group 2. So if I pull this apart, you see that chunk's missing, and I have my chunk that remains. So it's similar to the intersect tool, except that it allows the additional pieces to remain. So those are the different ways the solid tools work. They have great flexibility while you're modeling, but the important part is to keep clean models. So you can see that with this you can make some very interesting shapes very quickly, do things that might have taken much longer previously. So you can see we can take this, let's just even do some crazy things of, let's take something like this, maybe let's join these two together so we have this crazy shape, and then we will say subtract this from this, and so you can see you have this very organic shape that would have taken a much longer time to actually model. So you can see that that there's definitely some power to the solid tools, and as we get into actually modeling a house, you'll see where those tools really can come into play to make things move a lot quicker.